Hello, everyone. Today on the show, we have Tom Redman, the data doc. Tom helps organizations understand their most important issues and opportunities in the data space, chart a course, and build organizational capabilities. He helps companies attack data quality head on. That's his area of expertise. And he helps companies succeed with analytics. And he's the president of Data Quality Solutions. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Thank you for having me, guys.
So we recently were talking about how everyone in the data space wants to do the model work, but not really the data work. And you had suggested a paper by Google researchers. Found it very interesting. Can you tell us more about it, Tom?
Yes, so that's a really interesting and important paper, and profoundly troubling. If you read that paper, I had several reactions to it. Maybe we can talk about each in turn, but the first, just look at the title. Everyone wants to do the model work. No one wants to do the data work. In an earlier lifetime, I was a statistician, and and a good enough one to be at Bell Labs, and the first step in every data science project is just got to be understand the problem, and the second step has got to be understand the data, understand where it comes from, right? Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, strengths and weaknesses, what it really means, what it can be used for. Right? And the statement just in the title that nobody wants to do that work is really, really scary. I wonder if data scientists aren't either getting the proper training in their degree programs or not getting the proper guidance at work, because this is sort of like a step one that every good data scientist has to know about and has to really do conscientiously.
Yeah, very true. And this is a sentiment which I hear often also, where people are too obsessed with the machine learning part of it. It is cool. Whereas getting the data in place and cleaning it, structuring it is hard, and it's probably tedious work. And data scientists often expect someone else to come in and do that job and hand over the clean data. In this paper, the researchers talk about what are the implications of bad data, and they talk about a downstream effect. What is your reaction to that? Have you seen that in organizations? You work with organizations all the time on data quality, Tom?
Well, look, of course. The analysis, the model, whatever it is, can be no better than the data on which it's based. And look, first of all, quality is a very, very broad topic, depending on what you're trying to do. The first thing is, just is this stuff right? Do we understand what it means? Does this stuff align with this other stuff that we want to pull together to do an analysis? A lot of areas now where bias is increasingly important. That, those when biased things go wrong, that's what makes the national news, right? But that's only, one aspect of data quality. And the problems are really, really, really grubby. But as we said before, if you want to be a good data scientist, you've got to know about your data. And if you want your models to actually hold up in practice, then you've got to worry about quality. And it's sort of an abdication of responsibility if you're not taking that on. Now, one thing I have a little sympathy for the data scientists on is this idea. Look, data is a team sport. It takes a lot across an organization to succeed. And you need people out there doing work that are creating data correctly. You need people that are architecting the stuff so that you can line things up, right? You need help on worrying with things about bias. And if data scientists aren't getting that help, I wonder if it means that their organization is not fully behind the effort, right? So if you can't assemble the right team, maybe you haven't made the case to management, maybe management hasn't gotten it the case, or whatever, but you're extremely unlikely to succeed. Doesn't mean you'll never succeed, but by and large, you're digging yourself a big hole to get out of.
Yeah. The people aspect is very important, and the support that the data team gets from the organization is also crucial. Talking about data engineering, there have been several developments, and some of these are buzzwords just like AI, big data, but there are also some promising developments, and we're hearing these keywords all the time, like modern data stack, data fabric, data mesh, or data lakehouse. Um,
Yeah.
what's your view on these terms, and particularly from data quality standpoint? Do you think they are turning the spotlight on it? Are they helping with improving the overall quality in organizations for data?
So I actually think just the opposite. Data quality is by and large a managerial problem, right? First and foremost, you have to get the way you're going to attack data quality, you've got to get agreement on that. You've got to get agreement on roles and responsibilities that people are going to take so that you can address it properly. And these, I mean, it's not like they're hard roles and responsibilities, but if they're not in place, then addressing data quality is way harder. And it's been this way. I mean, now the term is data lakehouse and full stack and things like that. If they went back to client server and data warehouse and blockchain, I've been hearing these my whole career that some technology is going to come along and magically solve the data quality problem. Okay.
Mhm.
And it hasn't been the case. And the bad thing is that somehow it gives management an out. We don't have to attack the problem correctly. We don't have to get people involved. We don't have to get the right roles and responsibilities in place. And as long as you think that, as long as there's an out from attacking the problem correctly, then people and companies do not. And so, by the way, I mean, this is not just in data quality. Technology did not help improve quality in factory floors and other places as well. I mean, technology is wonderful. It helps increase scale and decrease unit costs. But if the basic processes aren't in place, it
Mhm.
just makes things worse.
Yeah, so you're emphasizing the processes and the people aspect of it. While technology is important, that probably is not the first thing that we should be worrying about. In fact, my other question was related to this. I think you partly answered it. But if you were to just single out one bad recommendation you often hear in this space being given to business leaders who are willing to invest, what would that be?
Yeah, well, so I don't know who said it first, but there was this notion that somehow the quantity of data was going to make up for poor quality.
Okay.
Quantity was some substitute for quality, and look, you see that over and over again. I saw something just the other day was talking about some survey results. The survey was done online, and the reason it was done online so that people could get a larger sample size but there were some glaring biases in the sample when they
Mhm.
got it that way, and a far smaller sample, properly chosen would have given vastly superior results.
Yep. Like having a lot of like thousands of responses instead of that, you're saying stratified and a rightly chosen sample would have been far more superior. Yeah, agreed.
Right.
Yeah, and it's also now it's the time of the year. Everyone is sharing predictions for the new year. So, what would be your? Like, what do you think, rather than top trends? What do you think is a rarely discussed trend in data and analytics space that you think will materialize in the coming year?
So I'm going to vector that question just a little bit. Let me tell you what I think is important and what I began to see in the pandemic, right? So I think the key for companies getting anywhere in the data space is people, right? And by that, I mean regular people, those who do not have data in their title, those who can serve as creators of high quality data that's going to be used for other purposes, of customers of data, of collaborators in data science efforts, and so forth. And so this notion that we have to get regular people involved and large numbers of regular people is just beginning to gain traction.
Mhm.
One thing that happened during the pandemic was I found that a lot of people, the pandemic crystallized the need for high quality data in their personal lives in the way that work never did, right? So
Yeah.
early on it was, well, where can I get toilet paper, right? And then it was, when are these unemployment benefits gonna come through? And am I going to be able? Are my kids going to be able to go to camp? And on and on and on. And are the kids going to be back in school, right? And this is going along at the same time with lots and lots of political misinformation.
Yeah.
So put in front of people in ways that are incredibly urgent, or just these quality issues, and more people began demanding better answers, and they began taking actions to get better actions. And so we've coined the term the data generation for
Okay.
people regular people who on their own are stepping up and demanding more and learning how to put data to work in new and powerful ways. And mostly we're seeing it in people's personal life. Okay. I hope companies are smart and they'll get them to do it at work as well. Now, you asked me for a trend, right? I mean, I think this is kind of like, maybe it's a blip on the radar. I hope the importance of regular people continues to grow, and the emergence of this data generation becomes a trend. I don't think I can soundly look you in the eye and predict, yeah, this is coming in 2022, but I think it's coming. I don't think we can succeed in data without large numbers of regular people. And I hope more and more people will, join me in really reaching out to as many people as we can.
Yeah, data generation, I love it. I'm going to be using more of this term, and I think you're right. Yeah, so there's an onset, and hopefully we'll see this picking pace in the years to come. That was interesting. Thanks again, Tom. Thanks for the great conversation, and thanks for being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, thanks. You too.